Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. And just like that, Season 1, Episode 3, When in Rome, Carrie learns of a surprising development involving Big's ex. Charlotte worries about how to handle a daughter's revelation. And Miranda ponders the state of her marriage.
Ooh! All right.
Wow.
Well, guys, we've been teasing this for weeks and weeks here.
Edging, just getting it going, baby.
Now, this is the first really upsetting episode of And Just Like That because we got Che Diaz comedy concert.
Even before then, babe. Even before then, that was
the big button. But we have a very special guest. We have the host of it's Good Vanilla Podcast. And Best Supporting Podcast, Nick Kochanov.
Hello. I just rode over here on my city bike, and I wore flats, so look out.
Gosh,
I mean,
those are both quotes from the episode.
You're like Carrie's nightmares.
Yeah, but here we are. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We are so thrilled to have you. And the reason I'm going to unmirror myself. Okay, there we go. The reason that I had you on this episode is because you have a long career in stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Years and years.
He's a real Michael Richards over here.
Yeah. I mean, really, all I did was I signed up for like the 6-week comedy boot camp for stand-up, and there was like a showcase at the end of it, and it's really cool. It's like a place in downtown Pittsburgh called, what the hell is it called? Something Arcade. Jesus, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. It's okay. Actually,
it wasn't called Check the Box.
Was
you didn't get yours at Check
the box.
It's like it's an aggressive, like even the title of that stand-up show.
Oh my god, it was like a protest, really. Yeah.
Nick, I would say I know and I love that you do stand-up, but I would argue that what Che Diaz did wasn't stand-up, was it?
It was a TED Talk.
That?
It was a TED Talk. It was a protest. It was the Moth. That's a good one. And like a gender lecture. Like
it was
bizarre.
Crazy. I mean, Ellen does her whole like dirt thing, I guess, for her stand-up kind of. And I guess, well, maybe why am I conflating the two?
This reminds me of like a 90s, like what you'd see on like a 90s sitcom of like what their idea of an angry lesbian one-man show would be.
Well,
like, why are you all so mean to me? Like, that's pretty much what this was in a black box theater.
Was it not written by like a man who lived his life in that time? I'm guessing.
I don't know. It
felt so out of touch. Every single element, every joke, all of it.
Well, it definitely wasn't written by a comedy writer. I'll tell you that much. Hey, it's actually 4:20 right now, my time. Speaking of which, let's tease this thing. You know what I love? I just realized all of us have the same. All of us can reference the same thing because we all used to do theater.
Yeah.
Yay!
Although I have some like holes in my musical theater knowledge, so
but still, like you still could.
You probably know insurmountably more than I do. Wait,
okay,
Amanda, does that word mean what I think it means?
Yeah, he was using the word penultimate wrong for the couple
episodes. No, Amanda's like, actually the penultimate is like a B natural and a C major scale. It's the last step.
What I do want to say is if you really want to hear Amanda educate me and really teach me what's what and be really mean to me, if you like that kind of kink, check out our Patreon, y'all.
I can't wait.
It's patreon.com/podandthecity. Pretty easy.
Yeah. Over there this week, we're doing the Golden Girls.
We are.
The triangle, I think, is what it's called. Ooh, and I believe that the situation is that Blanche and Dorothy are both going after the same man. What could possibly happen?
What?
Good.
You guys, we also do a YouTube live.
Every Monday.
Every week. Every Monday.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to us a ton, please.
Yeah, it's on this channel that you're watching right now. And please subscribe. We only need like 50 or something more before we can, move up in the rankings. Anyway, let's really quickly talk about this. That Nick is also in. Someone else say something.
Now, how are you getting prepared for this, Nick? How are you getting prepared for the 4th annual 420 special?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I let my medical card lapse because it's not legal in Pennsylvania because we're annoying like that. And but I have, I can get it. Okay. If I need to, but I
still got the hookup.
I still got it. So I think I'm going to get like some sort of oil to celebrate, usually a sativa. I don't mind a hybrid, but I don't really have like a favorite, and that's really all I'm doing. But I'm glad to be involved in the group note, the 420 group note, because I feel like I would love to add some topics.
Please do.
That was like on my couch, and I was like,
and just so you guys know, Nick, I don't know if you even want to put it on your Patreon because it's so different than your actual content, but you're free to. But all of us will have the link. It'll be live on 420 at 420 Central Standard Time. So just figure that out now, guys. It will be live, but it's still behind a paywall because we will be partaking in 420 activities. And you can just get that link will be available on patreon.com. You'll get sent to your email, I believe.
Nice.
That's it. And then you can just watch us talk about 420 type stuff. We got some good plans.
Now, if you guys are just joining us, we have started to implement some clip work. So what we're going to also suggest is we are offering the full-length episodes of these in video form on our Patreon on the free level. You don't even have to pay, babies. I do want to make a tiny clarification. If you do sign up for our Patreon, you get our episodes on Wednesday. So the video is available then for those people on Wednesday. But if you are one of our lovely listeners through all of our podcast apps, you'll get it on Friday. Right, Amanda?
Yeah, but then I accidentally posted it to the one this week today. It's it's classic it's a classic Kaczynski podcast. So that's it. Join us. All right.
So I want to know before we kind of get into the really recapping, Nick.
Yeah.
Have you watched And Just Like? You've watched And Just Like That?
Tell us your history with
and your Sex in the City,
I'll start with Sex in the City. I don't think I've ever made my way through the entire thing, but I can keep up. Amanda, I knew she'd say something. She was waiting. So
she's mean. Why is she talking down to you so much?
I know.
That's
it's
just
like
really
only been
rude of her.
No, I can take it. I can take it. So yeah,
I think we can all take it.
I can keep up at maybe like a beginner level, like trivia night of Sex in the City, but I don't know the deep cuts. But I loved it. I mean, I really, and the movies the first one's great. The second one's terrible. And as far as And Just Like That, I watched the entire first season, and then I watched like maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes in the second season. I was like, enough of this, and I just never went back. But I respect it, and it is camp. It's very Smash level of.
I don't respect it, but it is.
I do.
It is Smash. It's the Smash of Sex in the City.
For sure.
I gotta say though, the unfortunate part is like Smash is like a million times more entertaining, and I am a loyal Sex in the City fan.
That's true.
Smash, I could be like, ooh, engaged. This, like, oh my good
and
God.
I mean, and now John pointed out once we started watching this that it's egregious that Sex in the City was like half an hour or less, but And Just Like That is all painstaking
47 minutes. I like rolled my
47?
eyes.
47. Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
And most of that, every episode could be easily cut into half an hour because there are so many scenes of just. Nothing. There was a whole 10-minute scene of Carrie like on Big's computer, like
shuffling through the thing to plug her phone in.
I'm like, all of that could have been done in a sentence. Yeah. She could have been like, "Hey, Miranda, I kind of spiraled last night, and I looked at Big's wallet, and I couldn't figure out his password." That could have been done in one sentence over the phone.
Even
I
just
did
the
not-
back and forth between who's on the will. Can you?
Gloria, you say
Oh
it.
yeah, and they move it. Finally, Miranda moves it, points to it.
I will
Gloria's
also say
like-
the music was egregious this episode, and it ruined everything. If they
backing
fixed the
music?
music, yes,
I didn't
all
know
Yeah.
the music.
Because it's like
all
rinky
the-
dink horse shit. It's like boom, bang, bing, dong, boom.
It doesn't even
bum,
fit.
bum, bum.
It like does not make any.
Like a TikTok noise. That I
It
just like
is.
mimicated a TikTok, yeah, but that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Before
It's
we get
disgusting.
into oh wait, hang on, I got a little news and gossip, which isn't really
Ooh.
anything
Okay.
new,
Still,
but let's just
still. That was cool.
or
Television here.
So the only news and gossip that I have is that officially Sex and Just Like That season 3 will begin filming next month in May. It's May, the lusty
begin
month of
filming.
May. Begin filming. And then I went and I investigated like the first couple seasons and like when they started filming and then how soon after did it start airing. And it looks like from all the research I did in a manic state at 2:00 in the morning, I have put together that I think that And Just Like That season 3 will begin like in the new year, like in January.
I was just gonna think.
I'm
I was just gonna
feeling
say
that.
like January, like, and they're gonna be like, get carried into 2025 or some fucking.
Wow.
No, that's too
nice.
good writing, Joan. That was
Yeah.
You're right, actually. This show has fallen so hard, and I'm just so confused. They
It
don't
is
have
sad to see.
I'm
Yeah.
just confused. I'm so confused. Please get ready, Nick. Please plug your ears. I'm going to get enraged. I'm sure you probably haven't wasted your time listening to our previous 2
I
recaps
can't wait.
of And
You really
Just
don't
Like
need
That,
to.
but I literally roid out.
Yeah.
So this.
But now
this
you know
bothers
to
me.
pull the mic away.
Oh yeah, I'm trying. I'm learning. Amanda has a lot more time under her belt.
She's got
I'm
8 years
learning.
under her belt. 8 years.
She
Now,
does.
speaking of which, I feel like this is going to come up. It's already come up twice in this episode. No one even knows, but let's address the pink elephant in the room that Joan finally, he's been de-virginized on iTunes and he's finally gotten his first shitty review.
No.
And can't get over it. And I'm like, this is like, this is like watching me and Nick
Okay.
8 years ago when Alexis Michelle sent us that email.
It's the
Alexis
worst
Michelle.
feeling. And then
It
like
is. And
but
it does
like-
stick with you all day long. It's all you can think
We'll
about.
remember.
I get
You'll
it.
remember the user who did it. You'll remember exactly what they said. And you sit with it for like 7 years and you're like, all right, I think I'm kind of over it. But if you read it again,
7 years.
Yeah.
We should read it again on 420. It should just be a regular.
oh yeah, a bad
Here's-
review section, that would be good. Yeah.
Oh, that would actually be good. Someone add it to the live list right now.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I'm sorry to hear that. And it's more about them than it's you. It's people are idiots.
It's
They're
just
idiots.
I'm
so funny watching him experience this for the first time though, because I'm so dead inside already about all this. But it's new.
Okay, let me. Amanda decided to open the box here. I was not planning
Talk around
to
it, though.
open the box.
Check that box.
I
Check
just
this
want
box.
to think through this review that was left. What's really lovely is that we've gotten so many really lovely reviews
that's
gassing
what it is.
us up so hard. But the unfortunate thing is, and I don't know if this person realizes it, maybe they do. And that's why they were so fucking dickheaded-ish in this fucking thing that they said, was that like basically I don't think that they thought through that Amanda and I have known each other for 20 years.
Wow.
We have a history.
Oh yeah, Nick watched
with
us fight
each other.
back and forth for the whole top of the episode. We were just yelling at each
We're
other.
Oh, that was good.
like, I'm sorry,
that
but
was speaking of camp, it was so good. Amanda's like,
whatever.
We've been through a little.
This is what I'm saying. So in this review, the person one started it by apologizing to Amanda. She doesn't need your pity. She chose me to do this podcast with her. Correct?
question mark.
Amanda asked me to do this. So like, if you love her so much and you are so religiously devoted to her, you should support what she does. And what you could do is just turn it off. If I'm so insufferable,
That's the
Nick,
word
they
that
said
was
I
used.
was insufferable.
Which is
They
still nicer than a
apologized-
lot of reviews we've gotten.
I've been
I
called
I don't
worse. I've
care.
been called worse.
Here's my
Wait till they
feeling.
start talking about your appearance. It's great.
Honestly, that part I could care less about.
Okay, that's
weirdly.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
okay.
part, I am confident enough in myself and all of that. The part that I don't like is that you think I'm like abusing Amanda. You outright are like apologizing to her, taking pity on her. And they say, I don't like how he talks down to you. Girl, we've known each other for 20 years. We're like basically almost brother and sister at this point. And if you'd like to listen to Amanda talk down to me and check my shit, go ahead and go subscribe to our Patreon, sweetheart. And I'm going to leave it at this, all right?
I mean, I'm sold. I can't wait to.
They also said that I was too self-righteous for their taste. And here's what I'm going to leave with this. If I am too self-righteous in my views about, I don't know, people being treated well and gays having rights, maybe you need to be righted. All right? So fuck off. And I'm sure
Amanda's
suck
gonna
my
listen
dick.
to this.
Suck my dick.
I'm sorry,
like
but
Che
like,
Diaz.
I'm sorry.
I did.
But I've thought about, I'm sure you don't rethink about this, but like I'm talking to the person now.
We
Sure you
get
don't
it.
think about
We
this.
get it,
I've
Joan.
spiraled. I don't want to be called insufferable. And I'm gonna bring it back to the heart. When we're doing this, one, if you're listening to this or our YouTube, if you're not a part of our Patreon, you're listening to this for free. We're putting ourselves out here for free. Do you have the balls to put yourself out for people to judge and watch? If you don't want to listen to us, don't fucking listen to us. There's plenty of things I don't want to listen to, and I'm sure it would be your voice. And if you have a podcast, I can't wait to go on there. And you know what I'll do? I'll be kind, and I won't write a review. I'll just turn it off.
That was John with a perfect
tried to be
example
from the
of
heart,
not
but-
being self-righteous.
Here's
All
the
right.
problem. Here's my issue. Is Amanda opened the box here. Amanda opened the box. I was not going to go there. I told her I wasn't going
You kept
to.
bringing it up.
Nick didn't know.
I didn't know.
See?
Right.
I danced
I didn't
around
know.
it. And I have to because honestly, I have said some things on here that I'm going to really just assume that someone's saying that I'm so self-righteous that I ruin Amanda's comedic genius.
Oh, they
Nick,
didn't
that's
say
what they
that.
wrote.
That's good. That's
That's what they
good.
wrote. Because I'm so self-righteous, I'm going to just assume. I'm
I
going
think
to
that's what
assume.
he was the most mad about that. He's like, "Oh, sorry to ruin your comedic genius." I'm like, I didn't fucking write it.
That's not, no, I'm using that to infer why they think I'm self-righteous. And I'm going to say it's because I went on a rant saying I was woke 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I'm going to put a couple pieces together.
Okay.
It's fine.
Definitely keep thinking about it.
And
okay,
here's an
so
idea. No, I'm actually done. See, this is what's really nice. My
You get out of your
therapist would be
system
really
sometimes.
happy right now because they'd say, you know what? You set boundaries. And the boundary is if you don't want to listen to my podcast, guess what? Amanda, are you being tortured?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. during your ASMR, I genuinely feel tortured. But you got it out of your system.
Anyway,
It's
I
gonna
feel
hurt.
great now, and I'm sorry. I really am. Like, I do put myself out here, and it's hard. You feel like really connected to this, and I'm talking to my really good friend forever, and then someone goes on there who does not know us and doesn't know our history or anything, and wants to comment on something that they listened to us for an hour. If you didn't bring it back to our friendship and about us and me ruining Amanda's life, it'd be different. And if Amanda and I just met on the street and decided we'd make a podcast, fine and dandy. But like,
All right.
bitch,
Well,
I was in her wedding. Come on.
I feel like you having this
Anyway.
10-minute long rant is either going to stop all the bad reviews or we're going to get an influx. Like when Jimmy
I
said
think
that about
that-
Beyonce. So
I
yeah,
think that people like authenticity. And I'll tell you, the people who give us good comment or good reviews, constructive stuff, subscribe to our Patreon, they give us really nice things. And that's like, come on,
Nick, what say you?
be nice.
I know. I mean, I think we've said the exact same thing either to ourselves or like to each other via text or sometimes on the pod. That's another rite of passage is yelling at the void about a bad review.
We've
You're
done
just
it.
checking
I
all
mean,
those boxes. Yeah.
Oh, we have
Because
done
it does
so many times.
the worst thing is you can't you feel like you can't defend yourself, and it exists forever on iTunes. It's just
Mhm.
there. And if you want your podcast to do, it's all, it's just like a thorn in your side. It's gonna get better. I think, like, I don't know. Keep remembering all the good stuff, because it does really feel good to get a good review, especially when it's someone you don't know, like that actually genuinely
But
appreciates
then you only
yeah.
remember the one. The only thing I'm going to say is that it's very strange being on the other side of it, because usually
I know,
I'm the
Amanda.
one,
This is like
I am
you're
the most
Nick now.
right? And I'm like, but it also doesn't feel that great either, because I'm like, well, what would you like me to do? But also, it's like all of a sudden I'm this blushing flower.
But you're a comedic genius, more like.
That is
Amanda
a good question, though.
Protected at all times.
What was the thought behind writing all that? Did you think Amanda would just be like, you know what? You're right, person that I know your name, but I'm not going to say it.
We know, John. These are all.
What, are you just going to quit? Oh, you know what? You're right. This sucks. Literally the day before that person, someone wrote us a review that was like glowing and said really nice things. So, of course, you know how TikTok algorithms work. You know, you'd rant about shit. And I like to rant by myself because I live alone. It picked up all that. So I did get some good motivating TikToks that were like, 20% of people are just not going to like you. It just doesn't matter. You could say whatever you want. They're just not going to like you.
20%.
It doesn't matter.
That seems like I feel like 20% of people like me. And even then they're like, yeah, she's got a lot of, she's pretty problematic.
Based on our stuff, come on. Like, based on like the reception of our stuff, like most people like us, Amanda. Come on.
All right. Well, anyway,
thank you for giving me that opportunity, babes.
I'd rather you've done it here than on the live show. So good. Yeah,
I was literally locking and loaded for the live show. So and I had 3 more days to stew on that. So I'm really glad. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna gas you up right now, Amanda. You're amazing. And sorry for wasting your time, Nick. All right, let's get into this episode.
So much more than I bargained for, and I'm like, I can't wait to listen to everything. I'll just like give my review at midnight tonight. I'm like 3 stars.
Right,
I wish I could give it 0 stars. I love when people write that.
That's a regular
I should make a list
one.
of the top types of reviews. Like, used to listen to this, or this used to be good, and one of those, or people that come back later and edit their review to,
or they won't like somebody's laugh, and it's like, well, I can't do anything to fix that.
Oh my gosh, these hosts know nothing about anything.
Anyway, let's move into
let's
just
move
like
it.
that. Holy
beautiful
crap.
And boing, boing, boing. You told me to do something when it's time to. This now ends our YouTube part. If you'd like to see the rest of this video, please go to patreon.com/podinthecity. What is that?
I just clicked on one of these things down here, and that actually
now you may consider, Amanda, cutting from